All right, welcome back, team, to another weekly watch this session. It's been a while. Again, I normally do this whenever I feel like, so that's how that's how I intend to do it. But honestly, no, it's been not a lot of topic to talk about, basically, and lots of stocks that we have been trading is just like not interested that much. But we come to the end of the month. Today's October 1st that we're doing this, and September is already over. We finish another month. We passed this whole slowness kind of thing, as we've seen many new runners are coming. SLNO, what was it, Femi, a few other on top of my list. But as we're moving on to the October, uh, I can see that relatively we're getting more of a attraction to a one or two good stocks with the 400% runner, 500% runner, and it's kind of like narrowed down. But the problem is we get those runners in the pre-market, which I always suggest you guys be early. Early birds always gets the warm. Wake up early, trade early, and then forget about the market open. So pretty much right now, a little bit of a market adaptability. As a trader, you always have to adapt yourself. I've been saying that many times. So it's that time of being to just change your focus, kind of. If you're looking at the paint dry for the past few months and you get few runners and then you have a different strategy to approach to those, you probably have to adjust those strategy and get started with focusing on different approaches. But doesn't necessarily mean that your strategy is still not going to work. So this is the thing. This is something that every trader must know. But last month we had all these biotechs, healthcare's runner, and it's just like non-stop. We get left and right pump in the pre-market action, and then at the market open they die down, or maybe in the after hour they come back up. So what this tells you that you either have to be very early or you have to just come back in the after hour and trade in the after hour, which is normally not suggestible thing unless if you really know what your plan is, because you might end up in the liquidity problem, which is not a might issue. It's just definitely it is a definite issue. And statistically speaking, successful traders are the people that are trade early than the people that are trade late. So most of the investors are always late. So and normally they have a different approach to make their money. So if you want to be early, wake up early, uh, and follow all these runners. And it's so funny when I'm looking at people are kind of like pushing away from like a small caps and penny stocks, and they're just moving to the different areas, and then they come back to it. Because if you look at it, it's a lot it's easier to stick to one thing at a time and master that, and then move on to like option futures or whatever that you think you can achieve. But it's always like that. I mean, I see students, people reaching out. They've been trading pennies and they've been successful. So what? And their statistics shows that they have been successful consistently on the small caps, on what we were trading, but they couldn't keep their money that much, and then they just move on to like trade options, and their losses on option was significant compared to their pennies, because they didn't know what to do and all that stuff, and they just come back to where they were. That's why I always say, please be mindful. Do not just randomly, um, jump around and try to trade option if you don't know what you're doing, or future, or like even if you move on to the larger cap, or you go trade bonds. And I mean, these are the stuff that you have to educate yourself. If you are not educated enough, if you don't sit down and study, literally you have to put into work. You have to, um, consume it. It all consumes times, and you have to put it in the schedule and read different research, different type of strategy, back test, journal, go back to your journal, watch what you did, and then put things together. And that is the successful trader. So I can tell you that top of my head, if you're doing that, you will definitely receive uh, you know massive success in your trading job. Anyway, I want to keep it short, but overall, we're seeing finally inflation kind of decelerates, um, reach to that 2% target mark a little bit, and that's kind of a good thing, but still we are going to have a problem with the food pricing and grocery stuff, and that still remain the same, as high, and that definitely deal with so many of fiscal policies, not really monetary. So it's just a problem as well. So one thing happened, that was this, and then we had this government shutdown, and today, I think, today or yesterday, yeah, it was today, they come to the agreement to postpone until November 17th. So we'll see how these gonna affect the market in an upcoming week. Obviously, it's probably gonna have that a little bit of a positive, recovery phase, but I mean, based on what we're going to see, is just overall the market not doing really good. We're on the edge of really big collapse, like a biggest collapse that you could see, but we haven't seen any reaction. We haven't seen any sort of sharp knife drop or something yet. But you always have to be prepared for those rainy days. That's why cash is the king. Stay in the cash, be liquid as much as possible. I cannot say that enough. Be liquid. Do not just randomly put money into this stuff that you don't even know what's going on. So the cycle wise, this whole month of September, I've seen many healthcares and biotechs are just coming out, phase twos, phase threes, and their research, PTSD research, or birth control research. It's all kind of stuff that we had. And then in the past, we had runners like, I think PSVT, was another PSTV, sorry, uh, AVGR. These are the runners that we have, and obviously last week we had Femi and SLNO. These are the stuff that kind of pay attention when you see these biotechs and healthcare is related running on these kind of news. They desperately need money, and they do need to just mark their price higher in order to raise for the next round, and possibly next year that are coming. So it's the end of the kind of like this thing. So this month, interestingly, September was way too much of biotech healthcare compared to other sectors like tech and REIT or industrial or financial. Although we had many of those too, but relatively more of biotech and healthcare. So yeah, that was that. And then yeah, that was pretty much it on the side of what happened overall in the market, what is going on, and all that stuff. So let's get started to our Um, Watch list. But before I start, please make sure to if you are listening to this, it's only for educational purposes. It's not investment advice. And if you like it, sit down. If you don't like it, go watch something else. All right. So on the main watch, I have Pixie. Pixie on our it's going to be on our main watch. The company announced a reverse split. So this is a bad, really uh, bad industrial company that they actually badly need money and desperately need money. So they try to fool investors, and I think they only left with 2 weeks of cash. And I think the current cash burn is. Let's take a look. I forgot to put it on the notes. So yeah, the current cash burn is like negative 2 million. So that's relatively high for a company that has only 9 million market cap and 3 million float. So and they post so they announced the reverse split, and then after the stock really pumped after the announcement, they delayed their announcements due to necessitated. I can't even read that. Necessitated by the principal shareholders plan to effect charitable donation of his shares of the company's common stock, and coordinating the donation with the recipient charities prior to the effectiveness of the reverse split. So their goal is to just raise money through that charity, and before anything happened, they can do the announcement and do the reverse split. I think that would go to I believe the reverse split, the delayed, but they going to do it on maybe October 17th, 2 weeks from that, to October 17th or 18th. I think that's what currently the reverse split news stand on. I believe that's the whole thing. So the Pixie, staffing company, not a whole lot. 7% short float, 70% insider ownership. So there's a lot of insider transaction happen actually. 364% on the insider transaction, and their effective date will be October 14th, so it would be October 14th and 15th. So be careful with that, because if you're trading reverse split stock before their announcement, so they relatively hold your position, so you don't get to sell. I mean, some of the brokers, they don't have the new shares available for a short period of time. Like for example, E-Trade does it. I got caught up into those situations many times without reading the news, without knowing that the stock have a reverse split. So I traded in the pre-market. I buy the stock, and one thing is funny that they allowed you to buy, but that you're not allowed to sell your position until I think the reverse split is just you have to wait until the third party they receive it, and then it takes a few. I think it's usually when you trade it on the day that they do the reverse split, you have to wait after market open and a few minutes. I think that's what E-Trade does. I don't know any other brokers yet. They have the promise. I mean, Central Point haven't seen that issue, or they might have, or Interactive Broker. I'm not sure, or Webull or TD. TD does the same thing, I believe. If you do that, so be careful with that. When they have a reverse split, you want to make sure you trade after the market open a little bit, and then later down the later throughout the day. That's better than trading in the pre-market, even though you get so much volatility on the pre-market side. That's why they're very active. So sometimes I got caught up into those situations in the past. So be very cautious on those. So yeah, that's mainly the watch list Pixie. And on the technical side, they already reached that 138 mark here, and that's their highest. After that, it's just completely diluted. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes. Yeah, company just completely topped out, uh, lower high, crackdown, death cross, right after this $1. Basically, this $1 couldn't really hold all the way back down to that 80 cents level, and then dead cat bounce right before market close to the VWAP, but failed to continue obviously. And then next day, a little bit of a consolidation, lower volume, basically no volume, and then still establishing that 80 cents, 79 cents. So this is the area I want to see if this stock really can promise, something in terms of bouncing and bulls. Obviously, bears already ate as much as they could. So I mean, potential room to downside is still high. You can see that 67 level here, 67 cents, and then we have one to 40 cents. I mean, on the lowest 52-week lowest is 36 cents. So you have to consider those. And but definitely worth watching in the upcoming week. That's why I put it on the front pocket, because I do think that there's just, if the consolidation continues and we get this pixie on the scanner, and just like random volume surge happening, you can kind of notice that the insiders are trying to get the price up, and it's probably going to hit the scanner. All the traders comes in, it could potentially run up again. But I'm not really too optimistic about this whole thing. I mean, $1 is a very tough resistance on any micro penny, so you want to consider, somewhat looking for, 80 cents above, 89 cents above, and then see if there's any confirmation comes along, and then volume surge. I mean, these stuff can really easily run. I mean, the stock is only at 3 million float. So and last week they had roughly around 30. Yeah, I mean that's a good amount of volume. 36 million on just one candle here. I mean, when you look at it daily, it's relatively higher in overall. I would say probably 60 on average. That was the 60 above. Sorry, 60 million above. So yeah, that's Pixie. On the back pocket, we have Femi, which I talked about in detail for members only. But yeah, back pocket. For people who are watching this, Femi is going to be on the back pocket, and Binox also, it's on the back pocket as well. And all the details are going to be shared with the members only. And I think Binox was the one that we had the live session with the members. I have to also tell you guys that last live session we had, for some reason at the end, I forgot to change the time. I put a time on a 1 hour, but I had to change it to 2 hours. So that's why it cut off at the end, but I was already finished with trading and everything. And some people asking how we can join the live session. Also, the live session that I'm doing is only for the members. So you can go to the website, subscribe first, and then get access. Sometimes when I'm posting, if you're a monthly member, you get to see join to the live session when I'm doing it. And if you're an annual member, you also have access to the premium channel, and you get to see that, have access to that as well. Speaking of subscription, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, so I can do more of a free stuff for you guys. As long as I can get more of a engagement out here, I'll do more. So yeah, That's for that. And then also um, lots of members already join, and few still, not joining to the live session. I do encourage you guys, please, please, when I'm live, join. And I sometimes, throughout gems and stuff that we talk about, it's very interesting if you join and ask question. You can ask question. You want me to go over anything that you struggle or having problem. I'll do my best and you know talk about it in the live session as well. So yeah, that's about that. And then Bnox on the back pocket as well. And the detail will be for the members only. And on the swing chat, the swing side, um, ACB, unfortunately, this one did not go as I planned for. But you always, I always have my exit strategy. When to kind of exit, and that's how you should do it too. But stock is really really diluted, and there's no. Actually, it's actually at the lowest level that as far as it can go. And honestly, the cannabis sector is very tough to really trade and deal with. The company also never had any. There's no news about their restructuring plan anymore, and also the Safe Banking Act thing with the government. So it all connected, right? So cannabis can only run by some governmental federal law stuff, news like that, and people don't really trust if the company like having some sort of PR that non-related to legislation or laws or anything like that. So yeah, that's one thing you have to always consider when you're trading. So I will in the coming week I will cut my position in the half, and I still my average is very low. I think I'm around like that 80 cents 80 sorry, I think I'm around like 91 cents, almost like 89 cents. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that in half, and still I will be, it's something that I'm available. I'm able to manage my position accordingly. So, but overall, this swing is just takes longer than what I expected. I don't normally swing more than a week or so, but this one is still on a play in terms of position, because I think as soon as we see some sort of legislation that Safe Banking Act does, and we can see a potential run up again. But other than that, you just can trade barcodes and consolidate and possibly delist it. So you have to avoid that part. You don't want to get into a trap of delistation. This company is completely out of money, and it's very diluted, and it's just you have to be cautious with those stuff. Anyway, yeah, I keep it short. Hope you guys enjoyed this live session, um, and I hope that you guys are learned something. Feel free to message me on Telegram or message my team, symbol alert at symbol alert, or email support at symbolalert.com. And yeah, make sure to always study, trade your plan. Plan your trade and trade your plan. So that's a old old saying or quote that has been out there. So yeah. Anyway, take care, team. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.